have people who have strong Jewish backgrounds connecting with people who don't necessarily have Torah backgrounds. They come together and they share that Torah with each other. That's the mission of Project Inspire.
I got involved through Rabbi Sittner in the village Shul. The main trip that we had recently was the trip to Israel, the Project Inspire leadership trip.
The idea was, can we bring 40, 50 guys from North America who all went to yeshiva, who all learned?
We toured every day. We met Rabbi Grossman, we met Gedolim. At the end of the trip, Rabbi Yossi and Rav Chaim, the leaders of Project Inspire, they sat us down and said, now what?
They said, okay, we got to have a learning program. Let's bring the Frum community, non-Frum community, let's bring them together.
From this trip, Torah 2.0 Toronto Project Inspire Village Shul was born.
They all came back on fire, and they kept bringing people from their shuls, reaching out to more and more people to come learn.
When it was all said and done, we had 150 plus lomdim and melamdim that were learning on a weekly basis.
It strikes me as a necessity for Jewish people to make people aware of what their heritage is and what better way to do it through study, through a shul, through community.
Bringing Jews to an understanding what it is to be a Jew, how it is to have a connection with Hashem, understanding how the Torah is an instruction manual for life.
We've got all these people who want to learn, who want to grow.
I've been coming for quite a few sessions now, have a great havrusa, and it's rounded out by the good company and some food and drink.
This is something I want to be a part of because I want to sort of meet new people, meet other Jews, and continue building a life of Torah.
I know for myself personally, my chavrusa pretty much every week texts me in the morning. He says, Yaakov, are you coming? And I'm like, you better believe it.
Just looking around the whole room and seeing the array of people learning, it's very incredible to see.
The written material that we're given to study is really well written.
Kibbur Aveim, another week Hakar Satov, another week Dalnikov's Chos.
It's actually at a reasonably deep level.
Tonight we're studying about blessings and basically showing gratitude. I'm constantly working on that.
A guy walks up to me as he was leaving Torah 2.0, and he said, Rabbi, I just want to tell you, you have no idea how much I've learned in this program. And this guy is, he's not from yet. He says, besides what I've learned, just starting to learn Torah has showed me that there's so much I don't yet know. And there's so much more for me to learn. He goes, and that's been eye-opening for me. This is one person with one story.
For me, Kirov was basically a new experience. Seeing how people are coming from the other side to Yiddishkeit, it's tremendously rewarding. I'm so happy that I could do a little part.
My hope is that the relationship between the Village Shul and Project Inspire continues to grow. We continue to inspire hundreds more, and that Project Inspire furthers their mission around the world to replicate this many, many, many times over.
Ladies and gentlemen, as Project Inspire 2.0 continues to thrive in Toronto, it is my honor to introduce to you Yaakov Friedman, who came all the way from Toronto to be here with us this Shabbos for Project Inspire Village Shul Torah 2.0.
It's extremely humbling to be up here. I finally got the courage, and then we hear from Rav Farhi these beautiful words. The whole Shabbos we've been having one speaker after another, professionals, the best of the best. So I think we should just put on the YU basketball video again, and I'll just go sit down at my table. Thank you, Yossi. Once again, you pulled off a beautiful event, first class all the way. From A to Z, or like in Canada, we say A to Z. I seriously think, I don't think Yossi ever sleeps. No matter what time I text him, it could be 11 o'clock at night, 6 in the morning. Within a minute, there's a couple dots on my phone, and he's responding. We really appreciate everything he does. I also want to thank my good friend, Rav Chaim Samson, for everything he does for the organization. I think on a weekly basis, I get at least 2 or 3 WhatsApp messages or phone calls, and he's the only person I know that gives my mother a run for her money. She could leave me a 5-minute WhatsApp message. Reb Chaim, you're pretty close. But he always, with his wit and with his generous nature, he always asks, what can we do? What do you need to move this program forward? What's the next project? And we really appreciate it. Finally, I'd like to say a shout out to our good friend, Dr. Stuart Heitman, chairman of the board of Project Inspire, for everything he does, not only starting this movement. I think would Rav Noach told you, Stuart, now's the time. He would be so proud of this beautiful movement you started. Thank you so much for everything you do, and we get to see you on a weekly basis at our learning program, so thank you so much. ROI, return on investment. Every businessman knows what that is. You look at what you're spending and you wonder, is the return worth it? You do it in business, you do it in a care organization. You're spending millions of dollars. How do you gauge success? If 50 women go on a trip and one woman comes back and keeps Taras HaMishpacha, is that a success? If 100 men go to Eretz Yisrael and 99 come back and have a weekly chavrusa, is that success? How do we gauge success? I want to share with you a story I once heard that changed my perspective on Kiruv. In 2012, at the Kinnis of Shluchos, Mrs. Fruma Shapiro from Australia addressed the crowd and gave the keynote address. I'm not sure why I watched it, maybe it was the Australian accent, but she said a story over about her grandfather, Rabbi Chaim Gutnick, Zecher Tzaddik Livracha. He was in Melbourne, Australia as a shliach for the Rebbe in the early 40s. Australia wasn't what it is nowadays with a vibrant community. It was very secular. And the Rebbe asked Rav Gutnick, that's all, to make an evening to invite women from the city to talk about Taras HaMishpacha, Shabbos, Mila. He prepared that evening, only one woman showed up. Obviously, he was very let down, all this effort, and he told the Rebbe, maybe I should go back to New York. The Rebbe told him words that I'll never forget. He said, Rav Chaim, Moshe Rabbeinu only had one mother. You don't know if that one woman that came to your event will go home, decide she wants to live a Taridika life, marry a frum person. Her son might be a Rosh Hashiva, a Rav, influencing hundreds and thousands of people. You never know. So the point that I took out of that was every single yid that we bring closer to Torah and mitzvahs is important, but we also have to be cognizant of the fact that as long as there is one yid that is not living a Taridika life, that's not keeping Shabbos, our job is not done. We can't rest. On the Project Inspire leadership trip, as was billed, an amazing trip, but that's for another discussion. I don't want Yossi to start getting upset at me. Although what I said about you doesn't count toward my time. It was a tremendous trip. At the end of the trip, Yossi and Reb Chaim sat us down. We broke into groups and they said, okay, gentlemen, we had a fun week. We learned a lot. What are we going to do? What's the next project? We all have done the breakfasts and the dinners and the monthly get-togethers, but we wanted to do something with kiyum, something that's going to last. So we had about 8 malamdim that went on this trip from malamdim, and we said each one will be responsible to get 2 or 3 friends, and together with Rabbi Tzvi Sittner, who was our trip leader, and the Rav of the Village Shul in Toronto, a Kiruv powerhouse, for many of you who have been on trips with him, he's fantastic. His shul has a tremendous membership of On the Journey people. And he says, you find the malamdim to have a chavrusa, and I'll find the lomdim. We decided we're going to have a 5 to 6 week program of learning, pre-printed material with help from Project Inspire, every week a different topic in English and Hebrew, easy to follow along. And what it unfolded was truly unbelievable. We got maybe 25, 30 malamdim to agree to this. 3 days later, Rabbi Sittner says, 35 people showed up. So we started we need more malamdim. Then 70 people. When this program finally started, there were over 150 people learning together on a weekly basis. truly unbelievable. And it was so successful that we're still doing it. This was between Pesach and Shavuos. It continued. Every week, we don't always get 150. People have weddings, people have homework with their kids, but we still have some weeks 50 people, some weeks 125, sometimes 140. People have a thirst for Torah, and no one understands this better than Project Inspire. They know, we all know when your son is 3, many of us take him to the Rav or to Rebbe, and the Rebbe gives him some honey and points to the letters of the Aleph Beis. Because when you show someone the sweetness of the Torah, when you show someone the sweetness of being a Frum Yid, they come back for more. They want more. And Project Inspire guides you every step of the way. So we're really grateful for their leadership and for all the help they give all organizations. I'm looking at the crowd. I had the pleasure of meeting many of you over Shabbos. Everyone here has a passion for Kiruv and wants to do something. Like Rabbi Shapiro mentioned when he opened up with the Divrei Psicha, it's a lot warmer in Miami than Tarrytown, New York. None of us are here for a vacation. We're here because we feel like we either want to learn new strategies or we want to learn how to get more involved. So I say, please reach out to Yossi, reach out to Chaim, reach out to Project Inspire. They'll give you the tools to see how in your communities you could bring something there. And I just want to conclude by giving everyone here a bracha. In the zchus that you're oisik b'tzarchei tzibur, you all should be blessed with gezint, nachas from your children, hatzlacha, and Emer Hashem, we all should be learning together in Yerushalayim. Thank you.